Okay. So 25 minutes is the budget. So I beg you to make it 30 because 5 minutes are for jokes. And the first one is coming here. So dialogue between me and my wife today. Yeah, so I made you read it. So now there is another joke. I decided, so I'm a controller as all of you guys. So I made a research today and I found a lot in common between COVID and ICV. So the deep analysis showed we do have a lot in common.
ICV.
Okay. So, and the other two words is do. So if ICV starts to do something, it will be as viral as COVID.
Yeah, contagious.
Okay. Okay, so a short agenda, I will not spend time for it, so let's go back to business. So the introduction. To be honest, as we mentioned last time, our perception of our topic when we started, so these are group 2 members, was like this, because as you know this picture from controlling congresses, none of us had any experience of doing business modeling. We even barely realized what was the difference between business strategy, business model, or even business plan. So also none of us has never implemented business modeling into practice of any company. Some of us has done strategic sessions, but they barely called it business modeling or something like this. So our strategy to proceed with the topic was following. So first we educated ourselves. So we really have spent a lot of time exchanging our knowledge about what is the business model, and later on you will have the link to the webinar which we created afterwards. And Dragana has done a very nice observation of the history of the topic. So for me, it was very nice to know much more than I knew before. So then out of all the tools which we observed, and to be honest, not so many of them are at the market. So basically out of 2, which is Business Model Canvas and the Blue Ocean, we decided to focus on the first one. So after this, we decided to create a questionnaire for those who want either to describe existing business model, or if there is existing model described, the second set of questions was supposed to help them to find a way to transform, to change it, to adapt it to new environmental conditions. Okay. So then we have organized a free webinar for English-speaking participants, so people from the companies and for sure for ourselves. But the tickets to enter the seminar was filled questionnaire. So this is how we managed to get the feedbacks to the questions which we designed. So after this, we collected a lot of feedbacks from real companies, so from different countries, and Dragisa has created a very nice summary, and we will also share with you the link to it later. But suddenly we have discovered that some of the participants really started to use it. So this we haven't covered last time. So today I will mention a very interesting example from real life. So there are a couple of new businesses which appeared thanks to our group activity. So now we strongly believe that this topic is really part of good controller's job. Okay, so then starting from the concept. So why do we need defining and changing the business model? So one of the feedbacks of the questionnaire, which was done by the same people working in one company, showed that people working in one company have no idea about their core business idea. So basically they don't understand what they are doing. So our conclusion here is that to create a business model is a very nice way to synchronize the vision and the perception of the key personnel in the company about what the company is really doing. What are the customer segments and what are the key values produced and delivered by this company? So then when is also right question, because now everybody starts talking about business modeling because now something is changing and most of the changes are not desirable. But we strongly believe that the right moment to start describing the business model is not when the crisis comes, and it's not when you only start your business. Once you are small and you just have a few customers and people in your team, you really understand it without need to put it on the paper. But when you start to grow and more people are engaged into business, the only way to stay synchronized is to start describing it. So we also came into conclusion that it's very nice if company has tradition to make strategic sessions, for instance, on the yearly basis. So the business model tool itself is very nice to do it first time, because everybody has absolutely different perception of what is strategy and how different fields of business are interconnected between each other. So then the last question, and this is when we go to the tool part, which controllers like the most. How do we do it? So then if we pick as a topic the business model canvas, then we can use this simple way to put the key answers to key questions. What are the main parts? What are the main fields? And what is the main philosophy of our company? So basically it works very simple. So this is the part of the questionnaire which we will show you and share with you later. So once you have this canvas on the wall, you can start asking your team members about the questions for each block. For instance, who is our customer and what is the customer segments where we are targeted to? What kind of value propositions we are trying to deliver to the customer, what kind of relationships and channels we are building and using, and etc., etc., etc. So you also can go into value proposition canvas to go deeper into understanding what is the key value created by our company. So then we try to understand what kind of customer jobs or what kind of life he lives. So what is the result of his life in pains and gains which he has? And then if you look into our company's products and services, so do we really produce and deliver, and which is more important, do we really sell and show to the customers our products and services either as gain creators, so solution deliverers, or pain relievers? So once you've done it, you can really check whether your company performs good or bad now. So for instance, if you have a very nice value proposition in 2019, you can start in 2020, have less customers, or the customer segment has changed dramatically. And once you really start asking yourself what happened, you can still, for instance, you can still find that relationships are fine and the customers are happy with you, but the channels which are traditionally used are not available anymore. So this is a very nice moment to realize that your value proposition needs to be redesigned, so needs to be flexible. So idea is really very simple. So then, as I told you before, if you do it first time, you need to ask yourself correct questions. So we have in Google Form created this questionnaire. So I will just show you a couple of the screenshots, not all because it's very long and I really don't have time to read it all now. But still, these questions, there are two types of questions. First, you need to ask yourself first time if you have never done it before. And the second type of questions in there, so this is what is really changing now in time of these unexpected changes. For instance, when you speak about value propositions, the first question is easy. So how do your products make your customers' lives better? So are they really the pain relievers or the gain creators? Or for instance, the last question here asks which topics or challenges or problems are still not known by the customers, but therefore really important. So these type of questions we really have done a lot. So there are not so many of them because the initial list was very long. So we tried to focus and to leave only the most important. So there are all the others, but interestingly, two last sets of questions was very nice to have because the answers were really original. So these are the first ones. So if you create these two lists for your company, the first list is called From Now On and Always, and the second list is called From Now On and Never Again. So what would you put into this list? the feedbacks of the companies was very, very nice. So please read Dragitsa's summary. So they are collected all together. And the last question was also nice. So what would you've done differently a year before if you've known that the pandemic is coming? So 50% among other answers said that they would buy masks cheap and detergents cheap. But there were also really interesting answers in the end. So these are the screenshots of the webinar. It's not so long. I believe it was 1.5 hours. So if you really would like to educate yourself about the history of the topic and about the history of the business modeling, so it's very nice opportunity to do it. So today, no movies. After we finish, you turn on TV and put your family in front of the screen and make them listen to me, Dragitsa, Dragana, and also some of the participants discussing the business modeling. So it was very nice to discuss it using the canvases. So later on, when we share the presentation, all the links to the questions, to the answers, to the summary, and to the webinar is available to you. So then, interestingly, it has gone quickly and successfully into implementation. I will just give you an example of one company called Lumen Film. Very interesting company. It has a strategy to open movie theaters in the cities where there was no movie theater before. So normally this city population is 50 or 100,000 people only. So there are a lot of cities like this still in Russia. So the company is very successful, operates 10 years, and it is presented in 12 different cities around Russian Federation. So yeah, very nice. So the ordinary cinema, so basically nothing really original in initial business. But once the COVID came into place, the company was shut down. And the first problem of the owner, his name is Pavel, was to keep his most valuable resource, so not to let it go. So in his initial canvas, the most important resource which he has was loyal team, the personnel, 80% of which is ladies. So he decided to start a very quick and very popular project called Cinemaski, so like cinema and masks. So he made them, so the ladies, to create the masks wherever they are, in home, in the offices, and very soon all the other owners of the movie theaters which were closed started to join into the project. He became in 1 week so popular that they showed him on the news, on all the best channels, TV channels in Russia. So till moment, so this is the screenshot of the website. So if you go there, you can find it, but it's all in Russian, so not really possible to read. But interestingly, so the revenue from this project made 2 problems solved. First, he had revenue to keep paying them salary, and second, he became very, very popular. And as he sells franchise of the cinemas, he has now more than 10 customers willing to buy his franchise to open a cinema with his brand in their cities. But this project is very short. So once the pandemic is over, the value which is created by this project is gone. So then he started to think, so really to be, if you look seriously into his project, what he also knew how to do really well. He was very strong in activities. He knew how to promote the movies in social networks. So he has very strong internet marketing team. He also knew how to create customer relationships. So he was very nice with sending birthday gifts or any occasion, free tickets. So making some celebrations with the kids in the movie theaters. So he was very, let's say, close to the customers. So he knew how to serve a lot of people. So at the moment in his social network, it's 200,000 subscriptions. So he knows how to deal with big mass of people. He met another owner, also he's also one of my customers, who had completely different business model. And he made a partnership with him. So what another business was? It was the largest in Kaliningrad distributor of food, so fruit, vegetables, meat, fish, So whatever you need for the restaurant and for the hotel. So this is a B2B company, not known to public, very strong, very big, but only B2B channel was used. So basically the key resource with this company was having their own logistics, very strong logistics team, and only working with B2B, with hotels and restaurants. And also the key resource was a huge logistics center with refrigerators and a very vast variety and assortment on different type of food and whatever you need for cooking. So what these guys has done together, they opened in 1 week, they opened the most popular online store where public could order and have delivered in home the food of professional quality. So basically they cooperated two business models together. So this is how the food market pro was created. So these are the screenshots of this website today. So this online store was created in the middle of July. So after our seminar, because both of them participated, but not in this English language one. I also made a Russian language one. So now this project is very popular here in Kaliningrad. And both of these guys told me that they would never do it if there is no pandemic and no this business model canvas seminar, which we have done together. So for me, it also illustrates strongly that we as controllers know a lot of tools, and I believe some of you have seen this tool before, but do we really make others, do we really sell our knowledge to the business? Because now these guys are really satisfied, and you can find them on Instagram and you can see how many subscriptions and likes they have once they put recipes online, pictures of happy customers receiving their deliveries, the feedbacks. So it really has gone viral. And this project will last after pandemic is gone for sure. So there is another tool. And as Hervik mentioned last time, so once you would like to go deeper into competitive strategy, you could go with this blue ocean concept. You know it. For instance, this is a very popular example from the book called Blue Ocean Strategy, how Cirque du Soleil makes absolutely unique competitive offer to the market, being a circus, but being not a competitor to traditional circus. So when I was preparing this presentation, so basically it was an hour ago, I decided to make a blue ocean strategy for our work group. So if you have a look into blue, and blue is our line for sure, and into red line, so these are two types of business models. So red line is big four consulting companies, and the blue line is ICV Work Group International. So we are very nice example. So I'm sure if we do it together, there will be much more points, and the values will be corrected. But so this is only my perception. But still, this is very nice to see that we are very much different from any consulting companies. So no price, so the price is low. We are not so world famous, and we are not communicating in formal way. But then when it comes to possibility to meet anywhere, willingness to participate and personal approach, these are really our strong competitive advantages. So for instance, for me, it's very important that we have holistic approach and we have team building atmosphere and international expertise of people coming from different industries, ages, cultures, etc., etc., etc. So unfortunately, my time is gone now. So I do suggest we have another meeting. So maybe next year, if we go still to this ICV international project without going to the company, that we educate each other. And then one of these seminars will be dedicated more to these type of tools, because I do really believe that they are still underestimated and should be used much more often in the practice of controllers and real companies. So this is our message. So this is our farewell to our big group. We do strongly believe that business modeling is part of good controller's job. He at least should initiate this process, and the tools are very nice to keep everyone structured with this very philosophical topic. Thank you. Oh yeah, and the last slide, this one. So we also had a lot of fun. So this is a week ago when there was Halloween night. So you also have a very nice screenshots. And yeah, so this is the way we worked. Sometimes Dragica was painted like this, sometimes Yasmina, sometimes Dragana, and sometimes Axel, but they didn't let me show it to you. So I only can show you mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am finished.
Okay, maybe I could add something, because we all in the group were very interested to get more information from our customers, from our participants during we were working in our project. We discussed with our customers, you know, in every country, and I had a few seminars, and I described this business model canvas, and we discussed about tools, and there was mostly controllers. And we realized what was our conclusion, what Valentin said at the end, that controllers actually, if they want to be a good controllers and the partners and the pushy one, because controller should be a pushy person in the company, they need a tool, they need a ground, a template to talk about. And this canvas is a good template. There is, everything is in one page, and we could discuss and we could talk about it. And next week I have my seminar again, and there will be some of our participants from September, and they will give me the answers, what they discuss with their managers about the business model, because we are now in this COVID situation, and I believe it will be very interesting. Thank you.
My experience that there is no hard time to persuade people from the company to start something like this. I think the company just needs someone to push them into. They don't feel that they know what to do, what to ask themselves, what to think about, and we just need to push them and to be a moderator, and everything is going very, very, very fast and very easy, actually.
Okay, a question from Hervik.
Yeah, not so more question. I appreciated very much what that Valentin brought, two examples, and not the ordinary examples we can read everywhere, from the circus and from the air carrier, but examples for small companies, and we mostly work with small companies and smaller companies, not the international big ones, and therefore we should go to these companies with real examples, show them, and as I said, I think last time, if you ask the management team, 10 persons, what are the two main topics in your company, you're getting 20 answers. And with this, you can start and say, we should discuss what is really our point in, doesn't matter if you take Canvas or if you take the other model. It doesn't matter, but to start with examples and to show it's up to you to change your company, to make it better for the future.
Okay, well, any other comments? Dragana was also in the team, and Axel. Axel is not with us. Dragana, what did you learn?
I learned almost everything about business model. I haven't had and much more information before, and I really liked our group work. We had a lot of meetings and we had a lot of fun, and we really shared our knowledge and everything. And I really learned that as controllers, you can do much in your company. You can navigate, you can do the promotion, you can do everything if you are willing to, and if you learn constantly and trying to improve your knowledge. So this is one topic that I haven't much experience with it, but I immediately called my friends and said, did you find out this business model topic can be very actual in your company? And they said later, thank you so much for sharing this. And I think that really I am honored to be the part of this group.
Okay, Jörn.
Sound,
Unmute.
please. Sound.
I also want to stress out something, and I realized last time we met personally, Edita brought some models, you know, something up that we used for the whole session. So I really like even Dragica, Valentin, all these consultants. They really have a pocket full of different models, and it's really very helpful if you have kind of models, if you have a tool case that you can provide to your company. And so I really appreciate that you bring up these models into our team, and we can take it and learn it and find it. It's not that me personally using it, because totally at the moment I'm more into project management, less into controlling, but nevertheless, it's always good if you have a toolbox that you can bring to your discussions, and then you can choose which and bring up some advices or some ideas. So yeah, thank you for this new tool I got to learn also.
So for you and for the others, this video which we the webinar video, it is long, but there is a part where Dragana speaks, so there is no interruptions, and this is like a very condensed information about the history of the tool. And for me it was interesting to know what is the difference between the business model and the business plan and the business strategy. So it's very nicely organized, and yeah, please find this part if you don't have a lot of time. So only Dragana's part, it's somewhere in the first part, in the beginning of the video.
You said it twice. You said it twice, only Dragana's.
Yeah, it looks like Dragan is like took a good part of the job. Edita, can you tell me again where I find this folder where we are putting all the material? Because somehow I'm lost there.
I will put it in the chat window in a moment, okay?
Yeah, great, thank you.
From Team 1, I haven't found anything in the folder. No video, nothing, I'm sorry.
Because I didn't know where to put it, and I think it didn't work for me properly, so I didn't just care.
Okay, give me a few moments. Anything else? Any other comments to work of Team 2?
Maybe I didn't catch it, but I was still interested. How did you do it technically with the employees or with the members? So to get to a common solution, let's say, or comments to it. I mean, I guess if you
I understand.
Out 10 questionnaires, maybe you got 10 different answers to it. How
yes. So if you go to the link, so we have sent everyone the link. It was done in 2 languages, English, and I had to do it in Russian because people don't know English so good. So you go online into Google, and then you can see this set of questions, and the questions were broken into segments of the canvas. So set of questions about the customers, set of questions about the value. So each of the participants was free to choose only those questions which he would like to answer. Because totally we had around 40 questions. It's too long. Nobody wants to invest so much time. So the only obligation was to fill in the country and the name, not even the name, the country, the industry, amount of employees, and the position of the person in the company. So to keep it anonymous. So then after they were going through the list of questions, only choosing the ones which they think they find interesting. And the Google collects it into big file, Excel file, so pretty much like Excel file. And then Dragica and me, so I have done it for Russian language, Dragica has done it for English, we kind of collected it together because there were a lot of similarities, but there were some really original ones. Unfortunately, if you don't know the company, you really sometimes don't understand what was meant. So each of us tried to process the answers of our customers because we know the background, the context. So once you do it for someone, you know a lot. So then we also, if you remember last time, we also questioned Tuzgal, Autodoc, and
MDM, you know,
MDM. So
our
we have done it not using the form. We just simply called them to make it personal, and this type of questions was only asked to them. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, yeah, it seems to be very emotional, and I feel the atmosphere of satisfaction that Team2 has got after those months of working together.
Valentin's wife doesn't agree.
But on the other hand, if no COVID, then Valentin, today he was in Serbia, so
Yes.
Well.
But she told me that she feels like I'm going to Serbia once in a week.
I see. Yes, sometimes right now we feel, we think we are together, but finally everybody is in different world. Okay, any other comments to business model from anybody? We've got last 10 minutes. Jörn?
Yeah, Edita, still I do not find the video Valentin is talking about.
But
okay.
Our presentation is not in the folder yet. So I will do it as soon as we finish, and all the links are there.
Great. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, Herwig, last 10 minutes goes to you. Maybe you would like to sum up today. Please unmute.
I must say, I'm really impressed. I wouldn't have imagined half a year ago that the results would have been like this. And you see, I'm used a bit more in strategic things. Therefore, Team2 is more close to me. And as I said, it's great. And Team1 for me is the result had been very interesting because it opened for me a new side. It's totally new. I never thought about Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo is only for holidays in France and not for a simulation. Showing me if we have chosen the right risks, the right things to put in the model, shows to me, shows to us, to our companies, what will happen, which probability. And of course, I think the problem for Team1 will be to choose the right factors for a problem, and because nobody knows what is really a right problem. And my personal problem with Team1 is that it's still difficult to discuss the results with a CEO or CFO and so on, because most of them I know they are far off figures and numbers. But Jörn is totally right. We, the controllers and the head of companies, have to learn to work with things like this. We will see tomorrow with KY as well. It's very important, and future is will be dominated by figures and numbers. And nevertheless, I think personal meetings are even more important. Yeah, it has been really fun what we have seen, and I must say congratulations to both teams. Fantastic, and I hope I can bring it. To the homepage. I started yesterday. You can see on our homepage some information we will see tomorrow, and I hope I can do it with your presentations today, and perhaps with a film. Why not? And perhaps Edita with a film of our 2 meetings also that also other people in the ICV, interested people in the ICV, will see that ICV is working sometimes. Some parts of ICV are working, and Valentin, you're totally right. I haven't heard anything of ICV in the last half year, nearly nothing. Thanks for everybody, and but I get back to Edita, and she is a boss, and it's much more important what she is saying. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you very much. I see also Roger is having a hand up. Roger, unmute.
Yes, I can. I'm here.
You've got your hand up, so you want to say something?
No. That was just to underline the good.
He's only happy, like everybody is.
Contributions today.
Okay.
Sorry, I would like to ask Anna, who hasn't been attending the teams for other reasons. What do you think about the results of both teams? Because it's totally new for you.
Yeah, the first one I think commented, and for the second one, I'm really delightful, and I don't know why Yashmina was so much worried and why this white hairs on your head. I found the presentation very interesting, and I've never worked with such a business model itself. And I think being in the global company, we have some kind of this, that it's inputted into us questions when we try to investigate which way to go. Probably I saw your head that it's not, but some of these values you discuss, value propositions, customer, etc. There are some, of course, questions like this coming into the business. At least I was aware of when we discuss which way to go also. But Valentin's presentation I really enjoyed very much, and it gave me also a lot of thoughts now that we forgot sometimes to utilize it more often.
Okay, thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you.